Hi, my name is Adele, and I'll be guiding you through this process of self-exploration. Triggers can be pathways to healing. When we experience a trigger, we can find great benefit from connecting with the internal mechanism of vulnerability that's become activated. In particular, this method allows for a deeper understanding of the unprocessed emotion fueling the trigger, providing clarity regarding needs, including how to best navigate some of life's challenges. This process also facilitates the activation of our inner healing intelligence, offering opportunities for us to take charge of our growth. Let's begin with step one, identifying the trigger. I invite you to take a few deep breaths to settle into the present moment. Next, bring to mind an experience that upset you or triggered you within the last few days. This could be something someone said or didn't say, something someone did or didn't do. It can even be in response to a song you heard or a news clip you watched. Take a moment to identify the trigger you'd like to work with, and remember, all triggers, big or small, can lead to healing. Step two, keeping that recent experience in mind, review each of the statements you see on the screen, one by one, while you tune into your inner world to see which one resonates best with your experience of the trigger. If more than one statement fits for you, choose the statement that resonates the most strongly. Keep in mind that statement from this list that resonates best with your experience of the trigger for step three. I invite you to now close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few gentle breaths, inhaling and exhaling slowly. Doing so will increase access to your emotional world and allow for a deeper experience. Now, with eyes closed or gaze softened, close the cabinets of the mind and allow for a specific childhood memory of having felt the way you did in response to the trigger to arise. For example, if in response to your recent trigger, you selected the statement, "I felt excluded," connect with a childhood memory of having felt excluded. Trust the first memory that comes to you. If you haven't connected with a memory quite yet, know that with a bit more time and a few extra gentle breaths, the memory that is calling for your attention will eventually surface. Feel free to pause the video until it does. Once connected with a specific memory, recall the scene with as much detail as possible and with a focus on your senses. Try to remember where you were, who was there, what was said, and then connect with your emotional experience at the time. Did you feel scared, sad, mad, embarrassed, or confused? Did you tell anyone either what happened or how it made you feel? If you didn't tell anyone, why? If you did, what happened then? Now, ask yourself, what were my child self's vulnerable needs at that time? Did they need comfort, validation, protection, compassion, understanding? patience, encouragement, love, or even celebration? With your eyes closed or gaze softened, imagine this younger version of you in your heart space and gently place your hands there. In your mind's eye, tend to your child self in a way that meets these needs with words and action. For example, you might speak loving words of reassurance to them while smoothing their hair or rocking them. Breathe in the experience and notice how your child self responds. You may also tune in to how your own physical body responds. Then, when it feels right, feel free to open your eyes and come back to the present. I invite you to now take a moment to reflect on the experience of having gone through this process. What did you learn about yourself, your inner child, or your emotional world? Perhaps your perception of the trigger has changed, or of the person who triggered you, if relevant. Sometimes people report increased self-compassion, increased compassion for the other, as well as increased clarity regarding their needs. Best of all, when we tend to these unhealed parts of ourselves, they can become integrated, which means they show up less frequently in our relationships or in other aspects of our life. When they do, trust that they're simply calling for some love and attention, and that you can sometimes be the one to meet those needs with this practice. You can also engage in this practice at any time, taking as much time as you need along the way. Thank you for participating in this process of emotional self-exploration, and I sincerely hope it was helpful.